Dear friends, it is a great honor for me to be here with you today to talk about something very important that happens at 3:30 a.m. As you all know, this is a very special time of the day, and it is not a coincidence that many significant events occur during this hour. First and foremost, let me remind you that 3:30 a.m. is a time of prayer. It is a time when we should all be awake, not only physically, but also spiritually. It is a time when we should be in deep communion with God, offering Him our love and devotion, and asking for His guidance and protection. At 3:30 a.m., the veil between our world and the spiritual realm is very thin. This means that the angels and the saints are very close to us, and that we can feel their presence more strongly than at any other time of the day. This is a time when we should open our hearts and minds to their messages and allow them to guide us on our journey of faith. But 3:30 a.m. is also a time of great danger. It is a time when the forces of darkness are at their strongest, and when they try to lead us astray from the path of righteousness. This is why we must be vigilant and watchful, and not let ourselves be deceived by the illusions and temptations of the evil one. Let me tell you a story that illustrates the power of 3:30 a.m. It is a story about a man who was going through a very difficult time in his life. He had lost his job, his wife had left him, and he was struggling with depression and anxiety. He felt lost and alone, and he didn't know where to turn for help. One night, he woke up at 3:30 a.m., and he felt a strong urge to pray. He got out of bed, went to his living room, and knelt down to pray. As he was praying, he felt a presence in the room, and he heard a voice that said, "My son, I am with you. Do not be afraid. I am here to help you." He looked up, and he saw a vision of a man dressed in white, with a beard and a halo around his head. The man smiled at him and said, "I am Padre Pio. I have come to help you." The man was overwhelmed with emotion, and he started to cry. He felt a sense of peace and comfort that he had never felt before. From that moment on, he knew that he was not alone, and that he had a friend in heaven who was watching over him. The story illustrates the power of 3:30 a.m. It is a time when God can speak to us in a very special way, and when we can feel His presence more strongly than at any other time of the day. It is a time when we can receive blessings and graces that can transform our lives and bring us closer to Him. But we must also be aware of the dangers that lurk at 3:30 a.m. We must be careful not to fall into temptation, and we must be watchful against the attacks of the evil one. We must pray for protection and guidance, and we must ask for the intercession of the angels and the saints. In conclusion, my dear brothers and sisters, let me remind you of the importance of 3:30 a.m. It is a time of prayer, a time of communion with God, a time of vigilance and watchfulness, and a time of great power and danger. Let us embrace this hour with reverence and devotion, and let us open our hearts and minds to the blessings and graces that God has in store for us.